Welcome to the Monday edition of Litter Media Live here on Litter Media Radio Live, as well as on YouTube, and a little bit later on Facebook. Well, I guess you can actually see it live on Facebook, can't you?
Yeah, I posted there.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in. If you are just joining us for the very first time, we always talk about the good stuff going on in our communities here in Southern Ohio. I'm Dan Ramey. He is Aaron Glandon. We also call him Mr. Hand 2.
Because usually in this seat is you, and usually in that seat is Mike Smith.
Right, but due to our weekend duties, Mike is off today.
You said duty again.
I did. I said duties.
Yeah.
But I will be, we're back with basketball tonight on Litter Media Radio. We'll talk about that coming up here shortly, so we'll share with you what our plans are for the week, and that's all coming up in sports. But first, it's a little more mild outdoors. We'll have temperatures today to reach around 55 degrees. We like that. Slowly, gradually getting warmer. I was removing some of the snow and ice that has been in the shaded area where the sun don't shine, as they say,
yes.
Here in our parking lot. And so finally, after a couple of days of snow last week, I was able to get some of that out of the way. So pushed it out into where the sunshine will be today, and hopefully a lot of that will be melted away. But we are looking at, again, some cloud cover today. High temperatures about 50, 55, thereabouts. And we'll have Tuesday highs of 55 with sunshine. Wednesday, there is a chance of rain and getting near 60 degrees. So happy with that as well.
I wore shorts yesterday.
Did you really?
I did.
In the house or outside?
And outside.
And outside.
Well, the only time I was outside, I went to my parents yesterday. So I was outside walking to my car, and then I was outside walking into their house from my car.
So it wasn't time hanging out outside in shorts?
No, not really.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess. I just went out to check in my car to see if I left my phone in there without a jacket. It felt good to walk through there.
It feels okay out.
Yes, yes. Not quite what our buddy Jim Harris was. Jim brought a piece of mail over to me last week, and when the wind chill was like 17 below, and he's just walking in a T-shirt. Here you go, Dan. I was like, man, you're like Minnesota tough.
In my generation, we call that being built different.
It is a built different circumstance right there. Absolutely. Some people are like polar bears. They don't seem to mind the cold. Then there's me. Coming up in just a moment, a look at what's happening with news. We'll take a look at sports, and this date in history is all just ahead. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. For nearly 50 years, they've been doing this, keeping you warm when you need to be warm, cool when you need to be cool, and now dry when you need to be dry. It's Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it. They're local folks in your local community, spread around Southern Ohio in 8 different offices. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of
the week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Haynes Total Health Care Center, chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs. They've been taking care of those circumstances for our community in 50 years now. Started back in 1974 with Dr. Jeff Haynes, and of course his family got involved with the program as well, and now Brandon is running the show. If you want to learn more, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, which is hayneshealth.com. News you'll find on our website, plenty of sports from over the weekend as well, but you'll also find all of our social media contact information, Litter Media Radio, Spotify, all that is in the upper right-hand corner of our website. At the top of the news today, the question is, would you like to get a kickstart on your native wildflower garden or your vegetable garden? You can check out a great program offered by Kane Lewis from our friends of the Ohio State Scioto County Extension Office. It's free and open to the public, and it's this Tuesday, 5:30 to 7:30 at the historic Portsmouth Public Library.
The Pike County Chamber of Commerce annual banquet will be held April the 3rd at the Pike County Career and Technology Center. Social hours 5:30 p.m. and dinner at 6 p.m. Contact the Pike Chamber for RSVP.
The 2025-26 Ohio hunting and trapping season dates that begin in the fall of this year were proposed to the Ohio Wildlife Council. Both white-tailed deer and waterfowl seasons were included in these proposals. A statewide hearing on all proposed rules will be held on Wednesday, April 2nd. Now, if approved, the proposed rules will take effect on Monday, June 30th of 2025. The proposed deer hunting seasons are similar to last year. As in years past, only one antlered deer may be harvested, regardless of where or how it's taken. Hunting hours are 30 minutes before sunrise to 30 minutes after sunset.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has announced that enhanced aviation downlink technology is now available for use by local law enforcement statewide. The expanded technology allows OSHP's aviation unit to transmit live feed of aerial video footage to command staff on the ground during active, evolving criminal investigations and emergencies. Previously available only to local law enforcement in the areas surrounding Columbus and Akron, 9 strategically placed downlink receivers now make it possible to transmit aerial video from anywhere in the state.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Our road report, a culvert replacement project on State Route 327 in Jackson County begins today. It starts after this point. It will be closed between State Route 32 and Wellston's Industrial Park Road for the duration of the project. Traffic will be detoured via Wellston Industrial Park Road and Fairgreens Road. Drivers should plan for potential delays and follow posted detour signs for alternative routes. Now,
This is the image Mike sent me.
Uh-huh.
Does that look like Pennywise the clown there at the bottom? Do you see that?
It does. Interesting. For those of you that don't know who Pennywise is, that is from
It.
The movie, the book, and all the storytelling of Stephen King. Pennywise.
I doubt that's what that is, but it looks like it.
Yeah. I have to look a little closer at that. All right, coming up, a look at sports just around the corner. Let you know how things have played out over the weekend and what's ahead for this week. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389 is the number to call if you have the need for a dumpster. They can bring it to your residence, to a property you own, or if you're a business, they can handle all of that. 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down. Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
In sports, we're going to start off with swimming, and congratulations to Jack Hensley from Lancaster. He finished 12th in the boys' butterfly at the swim meet, in the state meet up in Canton, but he finished second in the 200 intermediate. So he's on the podium. How about that? Congratulations. Will McMasters also advanced to the state last weekend with his performance. He did place 16th in the 200 intermediate. So congratulations to Jack Hensley, this close to being a state champion at the swim meet. We'll tell you that wrestling, I've got all the wrestling information prepared to put up on our website. I've got a problem with my computer right now, and I'm not able to get to it. So, but all of our wrestlers, we had several kids do well. In fact, let's see, Taste Valley placed. Did they place second or take first? It was one or the other at Watkins Memorial. Jackson was the winner of girls in their sectional. That was all held yesterday. Huntington placed third in the D3 over at Alexander. And for the life of me, I can't remember off the top of my head who won the Gallia Academy. I think Miami Trace won Gallia Academy 2, and I can't recall who won in the first one. But I've got all that information. It'll be on our website later.
It's in limbo right now.
Yes. So just wanted to let you know that's what's happening there. Now, basketball-wise, Unioto overcame a slow start, and they climbed out of an 11-point hole for a 66-56 win in the Division III District Championship over Tri-Valley this past Saturday at Zanesville High School. And it was Miley Smith with 33 points. She had half the team's points, but she led that comeback in a win for Unioto. Now they'll be in the regional semifinal onto the Sweet 16 this coming Wednesday. That'll be at 6 p.m. where they will play Avon Lake, who was a winner over Westlake. Fairfield Union's second half defensive performance against Circleville in girls basketball later in the day on Saturday led to a 35-22 win over their MSL Buckeye foe. So Fairfield Union now advances on to the regional. That will also be played this week up in Zanesville. Other Saturday high school games for you on our Litter Media scoreboard page. You will find the Division 5 district finals for girls. Portsmouth, Fairland, Minford, and Johnstown all advance. Division 6, Federal Hocking and Belpre pick up wins. Division 7, Greene and Waterford advance. On the boys' side, Bloom Carroll picked up a win over Kip Columbus. Harvest Prep and Liberty Union were winners. Also, the Southern Ohio Christian Conference tournament that was taking place at Southern State Community College, Ross Christian Academy picked up the championship there in a 69-35 win over Adams County, while the girls from Ross Christian Academy fell to Hillsboro in their competition there. Now, what's ahead for this week? Well, we'll tell you that first, then we'll get to the Elks story. Up tonight on Litter Media Radio, we'll get things underway about 8:20 this evening. Circleville will face New Lexington. That'll be tonight at Southeastern High School. Our Aaron Glandon will be headed to Waverly's downtown gym to cover the Zane Trace Ironton game.
Reporter extraordinaire.
You will be doing all that.
That's what they call me.
And Tuesday, we'll have a broadcast of Huntington with their big win they had the other day. That puts them into a battle with Peebles. It would have been a Huntington Southeastern matchup, but Peebles picked up a win over Southeastern. That's going to be at Jackson High School tomorrow evening. Mike and BJ will have that for you. And meantime, I'll be going over to Waverly High School. Now, this is not the downtown gym. This is going to be played on campus at the Waverly campus, and that's Western will be taking on Fairfield. So that is planned for you Tuesday. And we'll have radio coverage of the Unioto girls on Wednesday. So that'll be coming to you from Zanesville. I will tell you that there's potential for more games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that means some trips over to Athens, and we'll tell you more about that as those games fall into place. All right, on to the Elks Hoop Shoot, and this was the state championships over the weekend, and there's a familiar face, Ainsley Weaver of Paint Valley. She won the girls 10 to 11-year-olds. Now, remember, she was the 8 and 9 division last year and went on to win the national championship. Also, Ruckel of Southeastern won first place in the boys 12 to 13-year-old contest. And both will move on to the regional competition in South Bend, Indiana. That'll be March 15th. Maddie Thompson of Paint Valley placed 6th in the 8 to 9 girls. Kia Weaver, that is Ainsley's sister, she was 5th in the state in the 12 to 13-year-old girls groups. Congratulations, kids, on a great showing, and we wish you well. Good luck in the regional next month. Ohio State men in battle with UCLA. 69-61 was the win for the Bruins. Mick Cronin picked up his 500th career victory in this win over the Buckeyes. Cronin, of course, was longtime coach of the UC Bearcats before taking that job at UCLA. The Ohio State women got back on the winning track with a 98-46 pasting of Purdue yesterday. And also, Javon Mothmer and the Liberty Flames, they picked up a win, their 5th straight win, 58-45 over Florida International. He had 11 points, and they're 22-5 now on the season. Memphis and the Cleveland Cavaliers in battle yesterday. Close contest, 129-123 for the Cavaliers over the Grizzlies. Congratulations. And that's a look at sports.
That's sports for you.
Coming up in a moment, this date in history, the Litter Media Wayback Machine is dialed up for San Antonio, Texas, 1836. Perhaps.
Do you remember?
I do remember, yes. Details next. But first,
we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number, save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you right to an information page where you can learn more about the founding of the Bean Foundation as well as what they do. Time for this date in history. 1836, San Antonio, Texas. Colonel William Travis issues a call for help on behalf of the Texan troops defending the Alamo, an old Spanish mission and fortress under siege by the Mexican army. Though Santa Anna's 5,000 troops heavily outnumbered the several hundred Texans, on February 24th, they answered Santa Anna's call for the surrender with a bold shot from the Alamo's cannon. Furious, the Mexican general ordered his forces to launch a siege. Only 32 men from the nearby town of Gonzales responded to Travis's call for help, and on March 6th, Mexican forces stormed the Alamo through a gap in the fort's outer wall, killing Travis, also Sam Bowie, Davy Crockett, and 190 of their men. Despite the loss of the fort, the defense of the Alamo became a powerful symbol for the Texas Revolution, helping the rebels turn the tide in their favor. Have you ever been to the Alamo?
I've not.
When Dan Jr. was graduating from boot camp in San Antonio, we decided to take a little tour. And I was surprised with how small it was.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard.
Yeah, and but when you think about it, I mean, how big of a place could they build out in the West in the 1800s?
Yeah.
You know? But that little mission fort, as they were calling it, not very big at all. Mm-mm. And I recall we were driving around looking for it, first of all, and I'm like, is that it? And then we walked inside and said, yep, this is it.
Lo and behold.
But you can do that out in San Antonio. If you've never been to San Antonio, you want to check out the River Walk and all that too. So
my sister thought that Davy Crockett was a pirate.
A pirate?
Yes. I don't know if she was thinking of Davy Jones. This was like...
I'm going to guess she was Davy Jones, yeah.
This was when she was in high school, she thought this.
Really?
Yes.
Davy Crockett in his coonskin cap going, "Arr, matey."
Me and my fiance were talking about this yesterday. If you were a pirate, would you be an eye patch pirate or a peg leg pirate?
I think that would depend on if I lost a leg or lost an eye.
Which would you rather be?
Well, that's tough to say. Because if you're on a ship, you don't have to worry too much about walking. I mean, you do have to keep your balance, I suppose, but I think I'd rather have my both eyes.
Interesting. I chose eye patch pirate.
Is that right?
Because my vision's already bad enough.
Would you, now, here's the question. How did that eye need a patch? Would that be from the hook you had on your hand? You went to scratch your eye one day and suddenly it just went through your...
Maybe. Maybe. Back on the topic of Texas, I've driven through Texas, but only the Panhandle. We drove through Amarillo on the way to LA.
Did you get there by morning?
We were listening to the song as we
Is that right?
as we passed through.
I've only flown into Texas. I've driven around Texas when we landed in San Antonio, but we landed in Houston and had a little layover and then went on to San Antonio. And while we were in Houston, are you familiar with the name Mark Lowry?
Yes.
Mark is a Christian comedian, sang with the Gaither vocal band. And I looked at my wife and I said, that looks like Mark Lowry over there. And so I'm going to go check. Are you just going to walk up and ask him if that's who he is? I said, well, I'll saunter my way. So I pretended like I was looking at magazines because he was looking at magazines. And he had his little roll luggage with him and everything. He wasn't shaven. He had a little stubble and everything. Looked like he'd been on the road and was just coming back from wherever he was. And I went, and this was the year that he had been in Chillicothe. He was here at the Ross County Fair on what they used to have Christian entertainment nights.
Right.
And so I am slowly kind of going, excuse me, are you Mark Lowry? And he turns and looks at me and says, why, yes, I am. and I said, well, I'm from Chillicothe, Ohio. I've been to Chillicothe, Ohio. I said, well, I knew you were at the Ross County Fair this past summer, and I work at the radio station in Chillicothe. Just wanted to say thank you for coming to it. Oh, nice little town you have there. Well, nice to meet you. He didn't ask me what I was doing in Houston.
Nope.
But, I'm sure he didn't care. It was along the lines of, would you let me get my magazine and I'm going to go out?
One thing that surprised me about Texas when I was driving through is just how many of those giant windmills there were.
I didn't see any of those.
I'd never seen so many in my life.
I think they probably came about after I was there because Danny was in boot camp in 2003. It would have been October of 2003. So
I would have been about to turn 3 years old.
Yeah, so I'm sure those windmills came after
probably
2003. So, all right, enough of all that. We've got high school basketball for you tonight. It'll be the Circleville Tigers battling New Lexington, who are the Panthers, if I remember correctly. And then you'll be off and about reporting on the Zane Trace Pioneers. You'll be doing Twitter updates, right?
If I can have service, then I'll do it.
You'll have service.
Okay. Because when I was at
Logan, you won't have service.
Even on their Wi-Fi, I couldn't get the Twitter to work.
I wonder, is it possible they have a block on X?
On the school's Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Because I've seen that before where they will. In fact, back when we worked at iHeartMedia, we were at certain schools and they had blocked the iHeartMedia websites.
Huh.
Even the VA had blocked it because people would call and they would say, can you tell me this? And I'm like, well, it's on our website. And he says, we can't access your website. Why not? Well, we're a government facility and we're not allowed to. A lot of that has changed, I think.
Yeah.
But at that time, we're talking 10 years ago, it was blocked.
Interesting.
We've gotten a little more loose with our rules on what you can access now on the internet. Unless you're at a certain high school that says, you're not going to get this one. So, but I believe at the Waverly Downtown Gym, you'll have full access.
Should be all right.
It should be okay. All right, that's it for today's program. Tomorrow we do have a couple of special editions for you. We'll visit with Marie Wilbanks from the Pickaway County Developmental Disability Board, talking about the stuff coming up in March in Pickaway County for Pickaway DD. Also, we'll visit with Andrew Hall, the Executive Director of the Ross County Historical Society, getting ready for Statehood Day, which is this coming weekend. So all that and more tomorrow here on Litter Media.